When we think of RTI, we sometimes have different ideas of what that might look like. Today, I'm hoping to add clarity to RTI and Mockingbird. First, we can remember that RTI stands for Response to Intervention. The purpose of RTI is to document our interventions for students who are not making progress or underperforming. Our goal is for them to progress and for us to close the gaps. This can definitely feel daunting, but we can begin to move what feels like mountains one boulder at a time. The foundation of RTI is Tier 1. We want our Tier 1 instruction, which is our core curriculum, to be available for all learners. We can identify learners who are below level continuously by assessing formatively throughout our units. You already do this through observations, through conferring, checklists, grades, and CFAs. For the learners on Tier 2 and Tier 3 interventions, you're already providing them in your classrooms through targeted small group and win time. So for RTI purposes, we can document this easily with anecdotal notes like these on the right. This is an easy way to document your interventions along the way. If you're looking for intervention ideas, you can find some within iStation printables, Florida Center for Reading Research, Raz Kids has printable interventions, Units of Study, small group, their phonics small group book, the Units of Study If-Then books, Hands-on Standards in Math, Teaching Student-Centered Math, the Vanderwall book, and even replaying some of the Dreambox units and teaching them to a small group. Progress monitoring should be a quick assessment every 1 to 2 weeks and should help us to measure growth on a goal easily. When saving these into Aware, please choose the items that give the most evidence. More is not always better. Label them correctly with initials, a title, and date. Some ideas for progress monitoring are running records, CFAs, Dreambox, Assign Focus, short activities that measure the goal, for example, 3 to 5 math problems, making words, phonics tasks, a student video explaining a math problem, student recording themselves and reading a text and talking about it, or a few sight words, a sight word assessment. When thinking of goals for Tier 2 and Tier 3 learners, it should be something simple and attainable. Remember, we're sometimes moving mountains one stone at a time, but one small stone can be the catalyst for big change. So when you're making goals, think, what's the next one thing this child needs to learn to move forward? What's something I can teach them in WIN or in small group that will help them grow in the next month? What's something that we're already tackling in small group or in WIN? Try not to overthink it. If a child meets a goal or if the goal was too easy, that's okay. You can update that in Aware and add a new goal without waiting for the next meeting. For RTI meetings, I'd like to share a couple of important thoughts. Please input information into Aware ahead of time. That'll help us guide our discussion and save some time during the meeting. Here's a screenshot of a concise but informative notes for the committee. I've created a checklist to help guide you through this process as well. Most importantly, we meet as a team so that everyone in the room can be a part of the committee and help problem solve for all learners. We appreciate the input of everyone on the team. You all know each other's learners from interactions in WIN and in common areas like hallway and lunchroom. When other teachers on your team are sharing, it's important to stay invested in the conversation and give input with your own observations or share ideas for next steps so that we can use expertise of everyone in the room. Ultimately, RTI should be an update on the great things you're already doing in the classroom, not a whole bunch of extra work. You are doing a great job. Thank you so much for helping us continue to be a learning community.